Welcome back to session 14 of GED Science Mastery. Good to see you. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space, which is basically everything physical around you. The GED asks you to compare the states of matter, to use density to predict whether something floats or sinks, and to tell a physical change from a chemical one. These show up both as quick facts and as small calculations, so let's get comfortable with all of them. Here's the big idea. The very same substance can look completely different depending on how fast its particles are moving. When it is cold, the particles move slowly and lock into place. That is a solid. Add heat, and they loosen up and start sliding past one another. That is a liquid. Add more heat, and they break free and fly apart. That is a gas. And whether an object floats comes down to density. How much mass is packed into its space? Motion sets the state. Density sets the floating. Let's compare the three states side by side. In a solid, the particles are packed tightly together and only vibrate in place, so a solid holds its own shape. In a liquid, the particles are still close but can slide past each other, so a liquid flows and takes the shape of its container. In a gas, the particles are far apart and move fast in every direction, so a gas spreads out to fill any container completely. Packed and still, close and sliding, or far and fast. That is solid, liquid, and gas. Now the star of this session, density. Density is mass divided by volume. How much mass is squeezed into a given space? The units are usually grams per milliliter. Here is the rule for water. Water has a density of about 1.0 grams per milliliter. So an object floats in water if its density is less than 1.0, and it sinks if its density is greater than 1.0. If it is exactly 1.0, it hovers, neither rising nor sinking. And here is the trap. Floating depends on density, not on mass alone. One more crucial distinction: physical versus chemical change. In a physical change, the form changes, but the substance stays the same. Melting ice, cutting paper, boiling water. It is still water, still paper, just in a new form. In a chemical change, a brand new substance actually forms, burning wood, iron rusting. You can often spot a chemical change by its signs: a color change, bubbling gas, or a change in temperature. The one question to ask is simple. Did a new substance form? If yes, it is chemical. If no, it is physical. Let's read a real GED-style experiment. A student measured the mass and volume of 3 solid blocks, then tested each one in a tank of water whose density is 1.0 grams per milliliter. Block A has a mass of 20 grams and a volume of 10 milliliters. Block B has a mass of 8 grams and a volume of 10 milliliters. Block C has a mass of 30 grams and a volume of 30 milliliters. Look at the bars. They show each block's density, which we will calculate in a moment, and compare with water's 1.0. Let's compute and decide. Find each density and predict which block floats. Read. Density is mass divided by volume for each block. Choose. Block A is 20 over 10, which is 2.0 grams per milliliter. Block B is 8 over 10, which is 0.8. Block C is 30 over 30, which is 1.0. Now compare with water at 1.0. Block B at 0.8 is less dense than water, so block B floats. Block A at 2.0 sinks, and block C at 1.0 hovers. Check. The rule holds perfectly. Less dense floats, denser sinks, equal density hovers. Last idea: mixtures and solutions. A mixture is 2 or more substances physically combined, and they can be separated again by physical means like filtering or evaporating. Air and salt water are both mixtures. A solution is a special mixture where one substance dissolves evenly into another. In salt water, the salt is the solute, the thing that dissolves, and the water is the solvent, the thing that does the dissolving. And here is a trap. Dissolving salt is a physical change, not chemical, because the salt is still salt, and you can get it back by evaporating the water. Let's lock in the traps. 1. Thinking bigger, mass always sinks. No. Floating depends on density, mass per volume, not mass alone. 2. Thinking dissolving is chemical. No. Dissolving salt is physical. The salt is still salt. 3. Thinking boiling changes the substance. No. Boiling water makes water vapor, which is still water. 4. Thinking all mixtures look uneven. A solution is a mixture that looks perfectly uniform. The recap. Motion sets the state. Density decides floating. And a new substance means a chemical change. Wonderful work today. You can now compare the states of matter, calculate density, predict floating, and tell a physical change from a chemical one. Your practice for this session is the 10 questions attached to this lesson. Answer them from memory, and for any float or sink question, compute the density first, then compare it with 1.0. To read the full lesson notes and practice more GED Science questions, visit the course page at www.bridgetoexam.com. I am proud of your progress. I will see you in session 15, where we watch chemical reactions and the conservation of mass. Keep going. You are doing great.